Hello there and welcome to my videos, welcome to my channel. Today we are doing the lesson 101. God's will for me is perfect happiness. So this lesson teaches that God's will for us is perfect happiness. Today we will continue with the theme of happiness. This is a key idea in understanding what salvation means. You still believe it asks for suffering as penance for your sins. This is not so. Yet you must think it so while you believe that sin is real and that God's Son can sin. If sin is real, then punishment is just and cannot be escaped. Salvation thus cannot be purchased but through suffering. If sin is real, then happiness must be illusion, for they cannot both be true. The sinful warrant only death and pain, and it is this they ask for they know it waits for them, and it will seek them out and find them somewhere, sometime, in some form that evens the account they owe to God. They would escape him in their fear, and yet he will pursue, and they cannot escape. This paragraph, when I read it the first time, I couldn't understand it properly, so I'm going to separate some sentence to give more clarity. So he, in this part, they, because the paragraph talk about they, this part means the ones who believe they are sinful, the ones who believe they have offended God, the ones who believe guilt is true. It does not mean sinners in a literal moral sense. It means anyone who is identified with the ego, anyone who believes they have done something that separates them from God. This is the idea. Then it was another sentence that I couldn't understand, so it was this one. The sinful warrant only death and pain, and it is this they ask for. This means people who believe in sin unconsciously expect punishment and suffering. Then the other one, it was this one. They would escape him in their fear. The meaning of this is people who believe they are guilty try to avoid God because they think he will punish them. So I hope that this give you a little bit more of clarity. For me it was, because it's like it wasn't easy for me the first time. If sin is real, salvation must be pain. Pain is the cost of sin, and suffering can never be escaped if sin is real. Salvation must be feared, for it will kill, but slowly, taking everything away before it grants the welcome boons of death to victims who are little more than bones before salvation is appeased. Its wrath is boundless, merciless, but wholly just. Who would seek out such savage punishment? Who would not flee salvation and attempt in every way he can to drown the voice which offers it to him? Why would he try to listen and accept its offering? If sin is real, its offering is death, and made it out in cruel form to match the vicious wishes in which sin is born. If sin is real, salvation has become your bitter enemy, the curse of God upon you who have crucified his Son. You need the practice periods today. The exercise teach sin is not real. This is the main idea of the exercise, that sin is not real. And all that you believe must come from sin will never happen, and it has no cause. There is no sin. We practice with this thought as often as we can today, because it is the basis for today's idea. God's will for you is perfect happiness because there is no sin, and suffering is causeless. Joy is just, and pain is but the sign you have misunderstood yourself. Fear not the will of God, but turn to it in it confidence that it will set you free from all the consequence sin has growth in feverish imagination. And repeat this idea. God's will for me is perfect happiness. There is no sin. It has no consequence. Because this is the first thought that we have. Sin, consequence. Sins, guilt, consequence. Sins, punishment. So, should you start your practice periods and then attempt again to find the joy these thoughts will introduce into your mind? Give these 5 minutes gladly to remove the heavy load you lay upon yourself with the insane belief that sin is real. Today escape from madness. You are set on freedom road. And now today's idea brings wings to speed you on, and hope to go still faster to the waiting call of peace. There is no sin. Remember this today and tell yourself as often as you can. God's will for me is perfect happiness. This is the truth because there is no sin. This is the practice for today. This is the text of the lesson. Remember that the practice is every hour, as much as you can, repeating this idea. God's will for me is perfect happiness. There is no sin, and it has no consequence. Just repeat it, and repeat it. And not just repeat it, also, where is the part? Here. And then attempt again to find the joy these thoughts will introduce into your mind. Allow your mind to receive the information relative to these statements that you are repeating. It's not just repeating and repeat, it's also allow your mind to receive new information. Okay, this is the idea and the practice for today. Thank you very much, and I see you in another lesson. Thank you, and bye-bye.